on to news. What do we got? Who's got some news?
Bob Odenkirk survived a heart attack.
Yeah, that
week
was
on the set
terrifying.
of Better Call Saul. Yeah, just like the news broke that he had collapsed on set, and
Mhm.
there wasn't really a whole lot to being said. Turns out he's okay. He tweeted that he was okay. He's gonna take some time, he said, to get healthy and get back to it. So glad he's okay. But I think a lot of people were attributing him surviving to him just doing that Nobody movie.
No.
And how he was in really good shape.
In good shape for it.
And so they think that maybe because of that, he was able to survive it. So really awesome. Really happy that he's okay.
Really happy. Yep. He's one of those that I think is finally getting recognition in his kind of later in his career, and I want to see more from him.
Give them their flowers while they're still alive, people.
Yep.
Don't wait till something happens.
Agreed.
Other actress drama.
So, let's talk about this ScarJo stuff, man.
and Emma Stone.
And maybe Emily Blunt too.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson decided.
Wait, I'm seeing a theme there.
What, that they're all women?
Yeah. Sounds like maybe I'm jipping them out.
Well, The Rock said he wasn't.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna trust him with whatever happened. He's also like a quad billionaire.
I was gonna say.
But
I want to see their paychecks on this movie, and then I won't be surprised.
Scarlett Johansson decided to sue Disney.
That's a ballsy move to begin with.
Yeah, just that. Sue Disney.
Full stop.
Because the way she was paid, partly the way she was paid for Black Widow was based on box office from Black Widow, and Disney Plus having the premiere access debut at the same time cut into that. She's like, "Where's my money?" Emma Stone is doing that for Cruella apparently, and then people think Emily Blunt's going to do it for Jungle Cruise as well. Disney fired back and was just like, "No, F you. We don't care about you at all in the slightest anymore."
Meritless, I believe, is the
it was,
word
dude.
they
The
used.
response Disney gave was like heartless.
It's Bush League, man.
They're like, "COVID-19 happened, you greedy jerk." And then like Scarlett Johansson and Kevin Feige were just like, "Jeez Louise, what the heck?" It's like, I just want to get paid. That being said, I don't really think they knew the movie's coming out on Disney Plus. I don't think there's really a merit to sue. Personally,
If they'd have sued prior to its release, I think it would have had more merit. But because they waited to see that the box office was disappointing, they didn't sue. It's kind of like, oh well.
yeah.
And we don't really know at this point. We may never know what kind of, contract, post. It's hard because you sign a contract and it's like, this is the contract. And then when distribution changes, I mean, Warner Brothers had to deal kind of with the same thing.
Yeah.
They changed their distribution model. They had to pay out like $200 million to different studios who were like, you didn't make this decision with us and we're going to sue you for it. Now, pretty much all of those got taken care of, either via settlements or renegotiating. But
Or fire.
Warner Brothers just sent Godzilla to the other studio's headquarters and was like, do your thing. But yeah, no, like, I don't think this is necessarily meritless. And obviously we don't know the whole story.
I think the thing with me is, though, it's like Tyler said, they waited till after. It's like they've known about it for, 6 months now?
I think
3 or 4 months at least?
I think, though, public, there's a... but... So you think back to something like, I hate to bring it up again, Justice League. And, like, most of those actors... Most of those actors and actresses, they were doing their stuff. Right, they were doing the media. They weren't making a fuss. The industry is very, don't make a fuss until after the release, because a fuss will probably hurt box office. And this being the first movie back in theaters for Marvel, I think they were hoping that it would have more success than it did.
But then Space Jam happened.
And we don't know. There may have been some additional negotiation for like what kind of revenue cut does ScarJo get per view on or purchase.
And they even said, I'm not like even trying.
Premiere.
I'm not trying to like defend either one. I think the whole thing is stupid. It's a bunch of rich people arguing about money.
Yeah.
Go outside and tussle it out. I don't want to hear about it. But like, they did pay her. They said they gave her $20 million or something for the Disney Plus thing. As much as he probably would have gotten. No. I just have a hard time empathizing for rich people complaining about not getting paid.
Yeah. Well,
even if it's Emily Blunt, I'll be like, okay, whatever. That's stupid.
Yeah, I just don't want to see anyone being taken advantage of, especially, women in the leading roles. They deserve their
if it was
their cut.
Like, oh, this is going to Disney. Like, if it was a thing like, oh, we did not pay you because you're a woman. Yeah, go fight. That's a good fight. Like that fight. But I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just people want money. And they all have houses that are bigger than our street block.
And when they signed that contract, nobody knew a pandemic was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. We will. I'm sure we'll hear more about it.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that one for a while.
Yep. Absolutely. What you talking about? How COVID affects the box office. It is also has affected and is continuing to affect cast and crew. Netflix was the first studio this last week that said it will be requiring COVID vaccinations for actors and crew that are in close proximity with actors in all of its U.S. productions. It's the first in the industry, like I said. I would not be surprised to see pretty much every studio follow this. Just another example of it's really easy when you have that many people working that close together for something to just spread through the entire thing, and then you're shut down for 2 weeks. And that screws with a lot of things because a lot of actors work, multiple movies in a year, and so they have these, 3 or 4 weeks maybe blocked off for a shoot, and then they're flying over to this other place to do that. And so if this gets delayed, then it makes a lot of extra work. So, yeah. It's just an interesting industry move, and we'll see where it goes.
I think it's nice though that they're just going to start adopting Zoom for a lot of the press stuff.
Oh yeah,
I think maybe Hollywood and even press has realized, wow, we can save a lot of money
if we're not flying people.
Yeah,
everywhere.
I think that's good at least, and plus it'll help cut down on that transmission. And
I think it'll also help the stars with their mental health.
Yeah.
Not having to be berated person all the time.
Yeah. I would not be able to handle all that, man. I feel sorry for all the introvert actors. It's like, I don't want to talk to all these people
the
with
Adam
same
Drivers
questions
of the world.
Yeah.
Dude, he doesn't even watch his movies.
Imagine having that much anxiety. Couldn't even watch your performances.
Man, I'd still love to interview him.
I hope one day he sits down and watches them. Should rent out a theater like Shia did and video himself watching.
When he retires.
Yes. Yeah. When he retires. What else we got?
We got our first image from the Lord of the Rings Amazon series today. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. And then we got that it's coming out in September 2022.
September 2, 2022. Yes, super hyped. I've now got a timetable to revisit the Silmarillion.
I'm not reading that.
I'm not reading the whole thing. I'm just gonna cherry pick some favorite sections. That is not a good narrative book to just attempt to read all the way through.
You should just try and find an Instagram or Twitter account that's posts cool things about the Cimarron, the Cimarron stallion.
Is that in the same time frame as this?
So the Silmarillion takes place over 10,000 years.
Okay.
It's the story of creation through the Second Age.
Oh boy.
Essentially, but not like, again, not every event. Like,
right.
There's like this story, and then we'll skip 3,000 years, and there's this story, and then we'll skip. There's this story. It's just kind of like I don't know. I would kind of describe it as like the Bible of the Middle Earth.
Maybe the Old Testament.
Yeah, the Old Testament of Middle Earth. There you go.
Ooh, I don't know if I'd want to read that.
There's lots of parts that aren't worth reading. That's harsh. That are hard to read, and people definitely don't get as much enjoyment out of it. But there are some really good little stories in there. Some gold nuggets for sure.
Somebody who is diehard Lord of the Rings Cimarron person needs to just start a podcast that people can listen to be like, this is what happened in this part. I'll explain it.
There we go.
So you don't have to read all of it and go through like, oh, here's the song bit.
And they're like 20-minute episodes.
Here's 3 pages of Elven that I translated for you.
Another debut date that we got this last week was for Hawkeye on Disney Plus. That will be dropping on November 24th. So right before Thanksgiving, and then continuing through probably till Christmas-ish time. I don't remember how many episodes it was.
Probably 6? 6 to 8.
6 to 8 is kind of the thing. So
WandaVision was 9 or was it 8?
I thought it was 8.
So it was 8 30-minute episodes. Doing TV math.
But yeah, no, I'm
really curious.
I'm really curious about the show. Yeah. I'm kind of excited for it, but
I'll watch it.
I won't.
Marvel.
Triggered.
So here's something in the rumor mill that I want to talk about with you guys.
Okay.
It involves DC.
Okay.
J.K. Simmons is reportedly in the talks to reprise his role as Commissioner Gordon in Batgirl. So, the DCEU, not dead yet.
J.K. Simmons is awesome. Here's the thing, though. Out of all the things that could happen, this is probably the least exciting for me.
A minor secondary character. Well, no, not minor, but just a secondary character in the story.
It's just like, we're not doing the Snyderverse, we're becoming the multiverse, whatever. Not doing the Ayer, blah, blah, blah. We're not doing this stuff. No more Snyderverse. And then it's just like, they keep kind of just bringing stuff back from it. It's like the constant thing of that Warner Brothers doesn't really have a plan.
I don't mind them cherry picking good things, though. Like, J.K. Simmons is an amazing actor. If he's given a good script, I mean, I thought he did fine in Justice League with what little he was given there. So.
Yeah, I'm still super excited for it. It's just this, like, that part of the multiverse is my least favorite because of the drama involved with it. It's just so annoying.
Yep. Very annoying. What other news we got?
We'll stay in DC world. I don't know how I'm gonna butcher this name. Zolo Mariduena is from Cobra Kai. He just confirmed on his Instagram story that he's gonna be playing Blue Beetle.
Breaking news!
He's gonna be playing Jaime Reyes. Apparently has 2 million followers. Pretty popular.
Dude, Cobra Kai's lit, baby.
He was at a Suicide Squad premiere.
Nice.
Kind of confirming that he's there. And
who's making Blue Beetle? Did they ever say?
The director? Or
yeah.
It's the guy who did Charm City Kings for HBO Max.
Oh.
It's an HBO Max movie like Batgirl. So.
It's still on my to-watch list.
It's on mine too, yeah.
I haven't gotten around to it yet.
That's really cool. I know when the Blue Beetle movie was announced, everybody immediately went to this kid. And they were like, hey, this dude from Cobra Kai, perfect. And I've not watched Cobra Kai.
You should watch it. It's good.
But Luke seems to like the guy. I'm okay with the casting. I love Blue Beetle. I'm really excited to see him in live action. It's going to be a cool scene.
Agreed. Let's see. Oh, Luke, this is the tease that I teased earlier. Since you're a swimmer, you'll be excited to hear that a TV series sequel series to Waterworld is in the works at Universal.
I've never seen Waterworld.
What?
I heard it was horrible.
I mean, it's not great. It's one of those that's fun just to watch as like a...
Now I'll probably have to watch it because I'll want to watch the series.
Exactly.
And if it's connected.
Yeah. The director of 10 Cloverfield Lane, Dan Trachtenberg, is attached to direct, but it doesn't have writers yet, so it's still very early.
Okay.
So
I've never heard a good thing about that movie.
Not
once.
It's like I said, I don't think it's a movie that you watch to be like, oh, wow, that was amazing. But
you have to be drunk when you watch it?
I don't think. Yeah, it maybe helps.
Oh, darn, I'm not gonna like it then.
It's got a cool premise.
Yeah, I think the premise
it's
is
Mad Max on water.
Yeah,
except apparently it sucks. And a boat can only raft can only go so.
He's got a sweet jet ski.
That's a funny image.
This is one of those movies. It's probably made a little bit before its time. Like it wasn't quite.
They should just remake Waterworld.
Yeah, maybe they should.
Rather than making it a TV show.
Yeah.
That's probably exactly what.
No,
this
just
is.
remake it.
They're just remaking it just as a TV show, and
Yeah.
they're like, we're just gonna rename some characters.
And Kevin Costner is gonna show up in the last episode. He's gonna be like, "I need some sunscreen, man."
I thought you were going to start talking about it flooding a farm.
You're gonna cut down all the corn, build.
You guys have any other
water
news stories?
baseball field.
Snowpiercer got renewed for another season.
Oh yeah,
Sweet Tooth got confirmed for season 2.
Yeah.
Yep, a couple renewals there.
I feel like I just complained about the drama in the DCEU and how I don't like it. But David Ayer,
Oh my goodness, this whole thing.
he talked about, tweeted out, wrote something about how the Suicide Squad from 2016 is not his cut.
As we've heard before.
Yeah, here's the problem though, and it's not what he said in the past. He said,
In
this is
2016,
my movie.
he said it was his movie, yeah.
So
Yep.
it's kind of frustrating. Apparently there's a cut that's edited by Nolan's guy out there.
Oh gosh.
I don't care though. I'm tired of that movie. And you know what? I thought that movie was fun when it first came out. I didn't hate it. I'd probably watch it now and still think it's fun.
Yeah, I still
lot
don't
of-
hate that movie.
It's a lot of bad stuff
Just
in it.
all the
but
drama
I like
around it.
I like Harley. I like the cast. Like
Mhm.
really the cast. It's just like the action, the lighting, the CG, the villain.
Yeah.
There's
just a bunch of weird stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like here's a bunch of good to decent ingredients, and it's just
here.
The soup that it made.
Did not taste great.
Ugh, I hate soup.
Not great.
Soup is nasty.
Yeah.
Any kind of soup.
One final thing on the whole David Ayer thing. Like, the little notepad he put out on Twitter. We took a really long time to get to what he was trying to say.
Oh,
And it was just really weird. But a lot of people were like, oh, I want to hear about the time he was on the submarine. Make a movie about it. He did. It's called Fury, and it's a tank instead of a submarine, if you're curious.
it's a good movie. I really like that movie.
I haven't seen it. It just was super weird.
It was.
It
was a weird movie.
No. I'm talking about the way the way he kind of addressed all of it. It was just super strange. Because I also, with Luke, like 4 or 5 years ago when that movie came out, he was talking about how it was his movie.
Yeah. And it's something I struggle with too. I mean, he talks about his movie has all this emotion and stuff in it, and it's just like, well, am I just supposed to take your word for it because you wrote it? I can understand why you would connect with those characters. I'm tired of hearing about it. Cuts.
Yeah.
There's a hidden cut for every single movie. It's like we have to ask every director now, is this your cut? It's just like, man, I don't care.
Contractually, that's written in now. When you sign on,
gosh.
you have to say that this is your cut.
I'm just as glad that, like, Warner has stuck to their guns on this. Like, yeah, we put out the Snyder Cut. We're not going to put out everything else.
Yeah, you even talked about with Snyder Cut, you're like, this might set a really
Bad precedent. And I think Warner's done a good job of not doing that. So kudos to them for sticking to what they've said. They've even publicly stated they're not interested in releasing the Ayer cut. They're not going to do it. So,
and it sounds like he's ready to be done talking about it.
That's what I was getting ready to say. David Ayer was like, "Yeah, this is the last thing I'm saying about it. Like, I'm done talking about it." So, or are we? Hopefully.
It's not really Ayer I'm worried about though.
It's the Snyder Cult.
It's the Snyder Cult.
Yeah.
The Snyder Cult, and I think we also it's fair to point fingers at press people who interview Ayer. It's almost impossible to not ask that kind of a question this day and age when I've had things like the Snyder Cut.
It's even fair to point fingers at Warner Bros. They clearly messed with the movie.
Yeah.
But movie studios have been doing that for
ever
125 years since the movie was created.
Since the concept.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah.
I think we would all agree that some sort of oversight is usually good on a director.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have people in the room who will challenge you. And, sometimes that people cross the line. Studios do absolutely cross the line. But it's a business, and at the end of the day, they're the ones paying for it, and they just want to make their money back. Mm. So that sounds super apologetic to studios. It's not necessarily, but it's not meant to be that way.
Would definitely prefer director and creative vision.
Oh, yeah.
99 out of 100 times.
Just needs to be better communication, more collaboration, and yeah.
Throw synergy in there, too, while you're hitting all the buzzwords.
Synergy.
Your work would be so proud of you right now.
Absolutely. They're like, those LinkedIn learning classes
they're really paying off.
They're paying off. The dividends are for the podcast, not the work. Not my workplace. My last story that I've got is that we kind of mentioned earlier, Sony delaying Horizon Forbidden West into early 2022.
I'm okay with this.
I'm okay with it too.
Yeah. I think it'll be good for the game. I'd rather not have another Cyberpunk.
I think I would agree. Cyberpunk, Halo, getting delayed, I think sets a good example for why things how things can get better. Obviously, we haven't seen the final product of Halo, but from what we have seen, I also, as a more of a Xbox stan than PlayStation fanboy, am kind of happy on a selfish level to be like, oh, you're gonna yell at us about not having exclusives and how our Halo got delayed, and well, suck on this.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from the T-shirt you were wearing.
All you 10 million PlayStation fans. No, that's not a legit thing that I want to say, but it
kind of is.
I do. Look, I think console wars are dumb, and
me too.
You reap what you sow. So if you mock one company for delaying a game, expect it to happen.
Yeah, that's not how it works, though.
I know it's not, but I want it. It's how I want it to be.
A game that hasn't been delayed, like a big AAA game. I feel like they just all get delayed.
It's kind of the norm now. Yeah.
Good.
They put out a date just because
they have to.
They have
Put your placeholder out there, yeah.
Even though they're just like,
I think it's funny even when we heard like Starfield had a date, we're like, so 2024?
It is not coming out. We both predicted it. I got it first, so it counts as mine. But we both don't think it's going to actually come out on that day.
No. Any last news stories before we head into our review of The Green Knight?
I have another video game one.
Yes.
The Dead Space remake at Motive will be headed by the game director of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Having been the person who's played Valhalla here, I think this is a good thing.
Sweet. I hope that this... I mean, we don't know much about it, but I hope that it's not
raining.
Assassin's Creed... esque game. I need it to still be Dead Space.
Yeah, it'll still be a Dead Space. I mean, they're remaking Dead Space, so ultimately it should be this better graphics and lighting.
Awesome.
I'm excited. It's gonna have a 60-hour campaign, and it's gonna have
towers to climb and stuff.
And then it's gonna have a skill tree. You gotta figure out which way you want to branch.
It's like you're exploring.
Do I want to use the vertical gun or the horizontal gun?
Your map is this like derelict ship graveyard, and like you have to like jump from ship to ship to like unfog the map in the area.
I mean, that sounds dumb, but it also sounds kind of awesome.
It does sound kind of cool. Damn it, I've talked myself into this idea. What am I doing?
And that's all I got. You got anything else?
It is pouring rain in this track meet right now. It is pouring. Look at that.
No one's setting any world records in the rain, right?
Well, if they are, then I don't think anybody's ever beaten it.
Yeah, that looks miserable.
Dude, it'd be so cold.
Imagine training your whole life to run in the Olympics and you run in the rain. That sucks.
At least it's a semifinal.
Yeah.
I think.